Ashe, happy grand rising. Trying to get my hoodie to make sure it don't look crazy on the ring around it, but I guess that's what it is. Ashe, sat song, sat nam to everybody out there. I just drunk some coffee and somebody offered to me. I don't even drink coffee, and that part of some dairy, and I'm like, ooh, I can't drink this. So I'm definitely going to flush that out with some water. That was my first beverage. I'm not going to say, please, I'm not going to encourage you to do that, drink coffee in the early rising. But it also have the element liquid. It has water in it. So I kind of did take some liquid into the body system. But what I want to show you around me is the church. Simply the church. Look at the church, y'all. Look at the nature of the church. Look at the gathering. Just look at the gathering. The gathering looks so beautiful. No, don't forget the cars, eliminate the cars, minus the whole building, the whole business building, TD Bank, whatever. But look at the surrounding nature. Just look at the church. Look at the church. This is the church. So before I go further into the Sat Nam meditation, let me do using my tools. And I'm holding the phone in my hand, so work with me. I didn't sound too well, did it? Trying to make it sound like very solemn. Here we go, do one more time. One more time. Okay, that's that tool right there. That's that beautiful blessing tool. Now let's see, can I work with this gong in my hand at the same time I'm holding the phone? Because I really don't have a place to put this thing somewhere so you can see me. But here we go. Oh, that don't work. All right, that don't work. I tried to do a little experiment, but that don't work. But let me go ahead and have fun, walk with you in a Sat song, Sat Nam. I wanted to do a Sat Nam video, Sat Sang and Sat Sang, Sat Nam. Sat Sang means the gathering, true gathering with true people, and in the truth. And in respect for the divine truth, your truth, the truth of life. I call it respect for my term of expression of opinion. I would say the term expression, the truth of life, the chi spirit of the truth of life. So moments ago, I encountered a masculine divine existence that was a Caucasoid. Caucasoid, so y'all say, what the heck is the word Caucasoid? Caucasian. Came from the Caucasus Mountain and stuff. You can go on YouTube, look up that whole scientific, thing of that matter, studies of that, and maybe later on down the further line of the pattern of, the path of meditation, I could communicate more, elaborate with that with you. But in this moment, in this specific moment of presence, amongst the church, amongst nature, beautiful spirit of, and big shout out to my ancestors who are of the spirit of nature, specifically those who are healed and healthy. And also big shout out to the highest of highs, all praise, the divinities, to the healthy divine masculine creation and the healthy divine feminine creation, to our creators and makers of life. Much glory, honor, respect to them. And I include them into this connection along with the chi spirit, as the chi spirit of life within all of us, revealed through every natural piece of creation. So, for my series, continue as I've been continuing on the path of my meditation, Sat Sang and Sat Nam, of trusting the higher power, the higher divinity within life, and seeing the higher divinity through all aspects of creation, seeing the high divinity through that tree right over there, seeing the high divinity through the grass right now, seeing the high divinity through every artistic expression of life. It has been such a beautiful deep encounter in the journey in life in general. And as I was being blessed, as I'm blessed to rise up within the rising of life, the grand rising of life, I encountered this masculine divine. And I was at the setting of a institutionalized setting, which is specifically the term, we will use the term, the congregation, the church, the building of a church, the building of the term, the church, and United States, in the Western culture in America, church, you can go back to like I say, you go back to the studies, all that. So I was at this church setting where Christ, the Lord, the term JC, that's the abbreviation for Jesus Christ, JC, and as I said Christ, I'm acknowledging some sort of the state of Christ, is praised, is promoted. And if Christ was the president, it'll be a campaign. That'll be the campaign grounding for the movement of Christ, just to be upfront. So this being came to me, started to inquire and say, hey, what's going on with your story and all this? Why you in the condition you're in the condition? And let me tell you something. There's different views of looking at this experience that I'm going through, and for a being. If you're at this same experience relating with me, if you're in the term HOMELESS, if you're experiencing that state, I want to say for this first thing, you're not homeless, because you're not less home. Matter of fact, as I'm outdoor amongst nature, guess what? It enhances the connections. As I take my shoes off and touch the ground, you can see my feet gripping the ground. Guess what? I'm at home. I'm free. Free to roam, free to climb a tree, free to express. I'm in the garden of life, respectfully. In the garden of life, respectfully. So long story short, so I was talking to this Caucasoid, and don't take offensive, Caucasians. Don't take offensive to that. If you do respect, that's just what you experience. That's something you got to work out within yourself. But I was converting with this Caucasoid. Obviously, of course, it centered its conversation on the term the Bible, the book. One would say the expression is the basic instructions before leaving Earth. One of the expressions, probably one of the expressions of that type of information. And let me say up front, all that information in that book doesn't mean that you don't need to ask questions about it. You don't need to research. You don't need to, matter of fact, meditate. You don't need to, matter of fact, go to the state of the Lord, term Christ, and inquire information about the origin of Christ. And also, it's up front 100% is all these alignments, all these outlines of a expression for man communicating, although they say this is a divine word. In a sense to say it is some sort of divine, but you still could ask questions because a lot of them informations in that book specifically may not respectfully line up. So this is something I didn't directly communicate to this masculine Caucasoid, because truth be told, JC is the Caucasoid's God. No disrespect to y'all, no, and not speaking insensitive either or imbalanced, but that's their God. JC, to me specifically, I was hearing this Caucasoid. This Caucasoid, do you know about JC? Have you accepted JC? If you was, matter of fact, if it's your last moment right now in this term, the state of your last existence day in life, do you know where you're going? The term, the cliche term, heaven or hell. And I said, yeah, I know I'm going. I'm gonna be in heaven. And the Caucasoid specifically asked me, how do you know that? I said, because I had previously in an encounter of being in heaven. Matter of fact, I'm made of the cosmos, like straight up, like, and I understand that. Oh, the cat said, well, the only way you're gonna go to heaven is go through, something to JC, and JC stands between me and you. And I was about to expose. I was about to say, man, I was about to really go in, but the chief spirit life within me said, nah, don't do it. One, I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you from why. One, I'm in there surrounded, so I had to, like a deck of cards, I had to play the cards like correctly. I don't want to, risk my habit where I turn my head at, and I don't want to risk being removed from that area until further notice of something coming along in a provision state, and I can transition into that next state as far as another physical place. But for right now, this is the surrounding that I'm at. And this is what came to me, and I was like, and he inquired like why I'm here, why I'm in Tampa, and all this other stuff. And the truth be told is I'm not in TP, Tampa, Florida. That's abbreviation for that. I'm not in TP to be just to be. I am being just to be in the sense as far as I am being present, because that's why I need to be most at, presence. Not necessarily focus too much on the state of present, present. So as I continue and enjoy these moments and these encounters with walking on the grass with my shoes off, as I continue and enjoy this sat now, my greatest joy to express is that up front, I'm not going to promote that. I'm going to promote Christ to you, to be up front. I'm not saying that it's bad, and I'm not saying, matter of fact, that it's good. I'm going to respectfully say that in the understanding of life within you, your own understanding, not lean on your own understanding, but the understanding of connecting to achieve the spirit of life within you. Yes, Christ can be one of the outlets, or matter of fact, one of the reflects specifically where you have a connection, you encounter of a Christ state. It's not too far from the state of the word crisis, but a Christ state. But in your own inner encountering of your own inner journey of your own satsang and satnam in general, your inner encounter of your ascension. What came to me at that moment after all things was done and said between me and his divinity masculine, it prayed for me and said, can I pray for you? Which is into a meditative state. And I said, go ahead. And it said, which name would you like me to prefer to say? I go by different names. I go by Sak'Chi for my ancestors, which means one favorite inside of the universe. I go by also of Chinaki, which is also from Igbo, which is from Igbo tribe in Africa, which stands for connects to masculine and feminine divinity overall. Connection is combinations one as the state of God, or the higher state of that united. And then I go by my mother, but she biologically gave me the name of Isaiah. That's more of I sense more of a Greekish stain there. And then she gave me the middle name Joshua. And that's the surname McKay, which comes from some type of connection to the Kakasori or whatever. And that means fire. So I go by different names. Respect. And there's another name, Sock. So there's different names. So I didn't really have a focus on what name I'm going to give you direct to call me, because there's just different variety of different existence of expressions there. But I say this. But one thing I noticed that when the Kakasori was speaking, he did this. He did a mudra. And I want to say this to those who are continuing to be and enjoying this beautiful, great walk with me in life, and we enjoy it together, is this. When I said the term earlier, this is the church, nature. This is the congregation right here. You do congregate within your soul, within yourself, within your spirit, because your spirit congregate within what? Within the body, within the temple, within the tabernacle, temple, earthly host body. And I want to just say this to everybody who's on the path of understanding what? Understanding thyself. Understanding specifically your existence, your origin. You see, Christ is a prototype. Christ is an archetype. Christ is they will say another expression, foreshadow. But if you really want to understand Christ, then guess what I'm going to take you back to understand of? If you really respectful understanding the womb, understand Christ, you understand what? Where it came from, the womb. You understand the womb man. Because through that womb, according to the storyline, a specific existent being came through the womb. So to truly really understand, you can read the book, the term, the basic instruction lead before earth, the Bible all day. But all of that information stems literally in the center of the womb man. If you are, matter of fact, surrounded by the womb man, divine feminine womb man, guess what? You are already encountering the state of Christ. Because the womb is still thriving. Like snapping your fingers. The womb is still present. P-R-E-S-E-N-C, presence. The womb is still resurrecting. The womb, some wombs, matter of fact, to be 100 with you, some wombs may seem like they dead. Why? Because there probably wasn't no healthy, specific, divine masculinity to really help the womb man to truly, arise the womb man. And I witnessed this in true experience, because when the womb man is actually connected to a balance, and let me break this down specific to you. When a woman is connected to a real, true, healthy, divine masculine, I mean that he is balanced, meaning that he is connected to doing things. It could be little things, not boasting, not bragging. But little things like this, like outdoors, walking outside with his feet, just walking amongst nature, breathing, talking, converting, I don't use the word conversation, but I use the main word in conversation, which is converting, which is converting with nature. And when that masculine is in alignment with the highness of itself, and he comes around amongst a woman, again, guess what? There's the resurrection of Christ. There's the resurrection of the power of inner morality, which goes into another state of immortality. And guess what happens? The DNA, specifically, genetic gene directly, specifically, will be activated. How powerful is that? Respectfully. How powerful is that? And this is something to say to the Kakasores. No offense to y'all, as I said earlier. You see, we have the melanated indigenous aboriginal tribes. All of us have genes, respect to say, but we have genes within us directly so powerful that even if you bring some, say, for example, some information like I encountered earlier, you bring some information to me about the state of Christ like that, guess what? I'm already enlightened. I'm already enlightened already, powerfully speaking. Because let me tell you something, the melanated, we already have immortality inside of our genes. It's historically, even matter of fact, proven as a fact. It's historically proven as a fact. So Caucasoid, I know you may not take this, you may take this not too well a little bit. It may kind of, trying to like, stir you up a little bit. But do dearly understand, respectfully, we all do have the chi spirit of life, but do dearly understand, genetically speaking, even direct in blood flow and form of life. We are specifically, every melanated, indigenous, aboriginal tribes have the genes of immortality. It is in our blood work. That is why the hospitals are so adamant about getting blood. And they can get a certain type of specific of blood. And that's why studying our bloods are very important. I'm speaking to myself, I got 5 things, but I point back at myself. That's why studying our bloods is so important. But they're so adamant about getting blood. Let me ask the question, why? Why are they so adamant about getting blood? This is a Satnam. This is a brief meditation. I'm having to walk in the garden with you amongst nature. The reason why is because there's something inside the gene of melanated beings that, no disrespect, the Caucasoids don't have too much of. Matter of fact, they can't even endure too much of it anyway. They don't have too much of specifically it to continue to produce. So what happens in that state of case? The gene, of course, seem as come off as survival of the fittest, but the gene inside the blood work specifically thrives. So it's understandable if y'all do things like, for example, y'all go get a god, a term of a god. It's understandable if y'all formulate, create this specific god, which will go to JC. And whatever y'all may come out there, y'all may actually come out there another thing like that, similar to JC. And all of a sudden, y'all gonna roll with that. But for us, Malay, indigenous, aboriginal tribes, do dearly understand this. We already have the gene of immortality. That's why it is so important. And when we start to cater to that gene, when we start to really understand that them genes within us, when we get reconnected back to nature, guess what happened to them genes indirectly that's already in us specifically? Specifically. What happens inside of us is that the gene continues to be active. Now, practically speaking, I love to give practical applications. Practically speaking, eating our diets is important, exercise is important, breathing is important, doing things like this, having meditation walks amongst nature is important. Not necessarily walking inside of a building where there's AC blowing and you getting that good old AC. No, out here, outdoors, amongst nature. We melanated, indigenous, beautiful, great beings have the abilities of so much things and so much understanding. We don't need to really communicate it out as far as vocally, verbally. Sometimes it's just our presence communicates it in general. So my meditation, that was part of my meditation walk in encountering that Caucasoid. And as I'm amongst nature, I want to just encourage you to continue to tune to your senses. Always tune to your senses. I relied, at that moment, in encountering that Caucasoid, I relied on my senses. Because I couldn't rely, I didn't want to rely on this. I didn't want to rely on the mind. The mind just can say anything, Then they wanted them within our conversation, converting between me and the Caucasoid. We're both masculine. We're both the divinity of masculine. See, he's white, I'm black. That's what it is. But looking in his eyes was very interesting to me too. My dear friend, another melanated brother, he said when he liked to look in people's eyes. And I honestly, I'm gonna be up front. I couldn't really look in his eyes a lot. I didn't want to. But when I did engage his eyes, all I saw was, I'm gonna be honest with you, can I be so serious, respectfully honest with you? All I really saw was like a soulless soul. I didn't see no soul in him. And that's serious. That was a little bit kind of, that was kind of, woo. Like, even though that being was so passionate about the term state of Christ, I really didn't see no soul in him. And I didn't want to, it was a real life experience. And I know a lot of Caucasoids say, nah, we got a soul. I'm sorry, man, but I don't know what to say to y'all. Like, I ain't see no soul, man. I saw a body all in front of me, look present, look just like I seen a model. I seen a direct model, but I didn't see a soul. I saw something that was trying to make something up. Something was trying to form in front of my face. Something was trying to take a formation form. And it was real, man. That thing was so real. I was like, that's why I directly could not continue to keep looking in this thing eyes. I acknowledged for it some points, but I could not have kept looking. It was serious, man. So I know, if I could be honest with y'all, I understand where y'all lack Caucasoids. I understand y'all right now. Y'all think we over here trying to find something. To be honest with y'all, you may think that, or you may assume that. You may, matter of fact, have some testimony what behind that. But deep down inside, let me tell you something. No disrespect, but we are not actually looking for nothing. We're not lost. No disrespect, we're not lost. Matter of fact, we are already at home within ourselves. It's been this way always. Now, for y'all cases, y'all respectfully may be looking all around, left and right, north, west, south, and east, looking up on the rock, looking over the rock, looking for things, looking for the state of understanding existence in general. That's honesty. But I understand, and if I could relate and understanding, I've been there before this point right now, as y'all can understand, and respectfully, yeah, that's what it is. So this is the Satnam video. I didn't want this video to become off as like hatred or racist. I have some beautiful, great racist cussing. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to post it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. I'm really so excited about it. But this is my extra home. This is my extension of home right here. Look at this. Look what my feet is doing. It's walking on this precious, wonderful grass. Look at this, man. This is so a blessing. Like, I don't even care about buildings no more. I really don't care about buildings. Like, it's nice if you build it for whatever intent. There's a building right across from me. Look at that building right there. But I don't care about that. But guess what? That building is made for what? The materials. What is it made from? Earth. So it's understandable if you create something like that. You create a building like that. You put some type of services, whatever you're going to do through that and stuff like that, channeling energy through that. But it's also understandable if you come and do something like this. Look at this beautiful old tree, y'all. Look, come on now. Blessings, peace. And you say, you know what? I bless you, peace and love and guidance through your whole creation formation, your beautiful spirit, the chi spirit life flowing through you. And may you continue to be prospered for many, many generations. Thank you so much. And my deep gratitude for me, Sak'Chi, Chinaki, Yeshiyahu, Isaiah. Give thanks for this gratitude moment. Give thanks for this reflection, this Satnam, the satsang meditation reflection, and nirvana, the kingdom of heaven state, and peace, and joy, and the gratitude, and serenity, and harmony, and truth. And then guess what I can do also? Another beautiful, great thing I can do. Now, knowing that this, I'm giving you all practical steps. See this? I lay my hands on it, and I bless in the same thing. Say peace and blessings to you. May you be prosperous. May you flourish. May you continue to go forth in greater inner joy. May you continue to guide me and help me to cherish and appreciate every experiences of life. Even that moment I had with the Caucasoid. Help me to continue to not focus on materialistic things, vanity things. Help me really praise and cherish the higher divinities, the healthy masculine divinity, the healthy feminine divinity of creators of life, of the chi spirit of life. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate everything y'all doing and what you have guided me to do. Continue to keep me on a narrow path, a straight, narrow path, and continue to keep me going and understanding life. Thank you. And that's basically it, y'all. So this video has been very practical, has been very helpful, has blessed you, has really blessed you. You can send respect for your love donation to my to my Cash App. The funds would be very, very helpful for me. I'm looking forward to do more videos like this. This has been such an experience of joy. And I'm looking forward to just cherish life. Simply celebrate life. This is me celebrating life. One of the special celebrate life. And I'm looking forward to it. So peace and blessings. For me, Sak'Chi Chinaki, ashe, namaste, nirvana to you all. Kingdom of heaven to you all. And blessing, love, healing, peace, and deliverance, and formation, all that stuff. Blessing, bye-bye.